gun that it was when it was released, but I think it actually leans into his capabilities a little bit. He's making it work in this map. Look at this. Just run through his own smoke at 1:30 on the clock. 1:30 is Art's contact point here on Mirage. Seen it a few times now. Kai 1 and 10. Maui must be feeling pretty vindicated right now. Been a while since Xantares has got back on the board. He started very strong in this game.
I mean, you know, you think about kind of Eternal Fire and the changes that they've made, bringing Jota in. You felt like with how the RMR ended for this team and falling short of the major, and that's after you kind of had Eternal Fire really starting to build something. That felt like a huge disappointment, a really rough end to a season that had both ups and downs for this Eternal Fire squad. That was like the kind of last hurrah. It's like, if we don't break through now, change has to happen. And this is a team that's been resistant to change to a degree. Don't get me wrong, there were times where they're swapping players in and out and in and out and in and out of this roster. But to see them actually move away from those old names that used to get bought in and look further afield, bring in Jota, reunite with someone who used to be on their academy team, that fresh blood is meant to reinvigorate Eternal Fire.
Period.
So anything less than a win today feels already like a real rough misstep for this Eternal Fire squad.
Definitely, yeah. It's a clear upgrade in firepower.
Like, you go from a historic run at the start of the year, last year in Copenhagen, to not even making the major by the time Shanghai rolls around. It was obvious that something had to give within this Eternal Fire team. And they think that Jota is that solution.
And not some young, inexperienced player. He's been playing around in Sangal for some time now. He's saw him at Pro League as well. He beat FaZe there. Period had a banger on Xantares pushing up top mid this round, so he's still been stifled yet again. Jota's been keen to flank, but he won't go for it in this round. He's just going to control ramp. Bomb back to B. They're trying to exploit Madra at the moment. A lot of B. Buzzing around. But Wycadia, aggressive on short, does leave Madra on his own. He's holding for the window flank. It seems like they're scared of a timing because Woxic's also looking there, but there's the spot from Wycadia. They don't know where Madra is at this point. He's got a great angle. Oh dear, it's going to get worse. And that is, oh, surely it. Nick's double out of nowhere. He's going to get a plant. He has great timing here, but he doubts it. 7 seconds. Got a sticky. You can't win the round off kills. Eternal Fire, make sure of it. 7 on the CT side. Some explosive rounds from Fluxo, but it falls by the wayside. out with his signature style, surrounded by some fresh Brazilian blood in the server, and Eternal Fire are spilling it all over Mirage. 7 rounds on the defensive half of map 1 of this series, as Eternal Fire have a bounty on their head, and Art wants to come for it.
And he's been approaching that with pace and aggression, but Eternal Fire still the ones holding the lead at the end of that first half. This is Fluxo's map pick, and it's on the defending side. They've got a course correct with Dust 2 coming up next. Bit of a classic for Eternal Fire. You want to leave a good impression here at the end of your Mirage. Let's see what Eternal Fire bring to the table in this pistol as they approach the B site. You've got Util on Major and Woxic trying to tee up the other 3 as they move in first. History to open, and now they realize we've walked into a stack. Everyone's here for Fluxo. Eternal Fire battling back, managed to get through this stack unharmed. It's
Ooh,
Kai
what?
tucked
They
in,
lost him.
uncleared, unchecked, and he might just rob this round away. As only Woxic left standing. He was the one throwing Util earlier on. Now, the last hope for Eternal Fire in this pistol.
Waiting for a mistake, an overstep. Any error. You can still see Kai in this corner, but he's not giving it up right now. Doesn't want to swing wide. Woxy doing everything he can to force a fight. Kai gets out on the reload. Good repos. Woxy getting whittled down, and Nyx will finish the job. Nice reposition for Kai. Takes the spot that his teammate had just died in, so no one's looking that way. And Eternal Fire into the stack, get 3 entries. It's still not enough.
Yeah, it looked like they were going to brave that stack perfectly, right? They found all the opening kills. Kai, who heading into this pistol round had 1 kill to his name.
Yeah.
That is a very important double up. And so, you know, might have had next to no impact across this game thus far for Fluxo. He's now given them a chance to leapfrog themselves up into the lead in this second half. So a lot of impact from him in the pistol.
2-on-4 for Fluxo. It's one way to do it. Arcadia gets ahead, but she'll get spotted. Pyria sees a lot of players, so back to the safety of the van. And they don't want to overdo it here. Art, of course, on USP armor. Bit of a classic. Loves this.
These 2 players on short both made noise, like they were running back to rotate B the moment that spot from Pyria came in, but then they didn't commit to it. And so right now, I think Eternal Fire are expecting that this fake over towards the B site is like really worked and really drawn some heavy rotates. There is still only Nyx actually watching A, so even though they kind of faked the footsteps, they have committed to a heavier B lean. If Nyx falls, when you see that boost, you know everyone's here.
Yeah.
Everyone should be rotating right now for Fluxo. There should be no hope left in this round for the Eternal Fire squad. And so yeah, with the pistols, it will get brushed aside. But now the guns come out for Eternal Fire. Now they have something to bite back with.
Neck and neck right now, but I said earlier it's going to be a game of T sides. I stand by it. Let's see what Eternal Fire have been cooking up over the break with a new player. Some new ideas. Major, an accomplished, a long-standing in-game leader. Warp is out. That flash looked on, but I guess they saw it coming and turned. 2 players unblinded.
Oh, Arcadia. Will he be able to spot Art? History's made such quick work of everyone else. But he does land that backstab, and that's opened up the route for Xantares to move in and help out. Pyria on a very lengthy flank, but it's only that MP9. Range won't be his friend, so he's hoping he can find some players up close. History with it. Reposition. That scope in should have been heard by Xantares over in middle, so that's info for Eternal Fire. They don't need to give this orb time to get involved. Tech9 pulled, Imperia makes it work.
He knows.
Zantares, he heard that orb earlier on, and he annihilates him. That's a Zantares hold, if ever you've seen one. And the killing blow to Imperia. Zantares, clinically done.
That's crazy. I know he's shifting in with an AWP, right? But that,
no,
the
we
POV
saw
of
it
the AWP,
from...
he was about to check that angle. Like, I guess he can crouch peek it, but he's walking in, and he's gone. Online, Zantares dialed in for that round. And yeah, that scope actually kind of ruined everything. I think without it, Zantares probably not expecting the window reposition from the CT AWPer.
That's after history had hit like 2 blinders as well in defense of the A site.
And then, of course, Zantares stands in the open for the last kill. He's confident right now. Had a very quiet second half of the first half, if you get what I'm saying. Oh god, Mac-10's threatening, especially when you run out of ammo, low health on the backside, and they could be a problem. Psych. Caught hard in under. 3 on 3.
So hard, isn't it?
Yeah, how's he there? You've got a mid player. How's he there? Did he start there?
Tara's again. Sorry, guys. I really don't know how he got there. I've been in mid the entire time.
Must have just started in lower. 3 on 3. Should be fine here for Turtle 5. Group up. Kai is low with the M4. Not ideal.
Not ideal, but it also likely won't get punished, right? Like,
and then
Mix
he
is
walks
just
under.
not in a position to spot that. But the spam's good, and it's got the attention all homed in on middle right now for Fluxo. Where the real truth is, Eternal Fire use Zantares like a bit of a decoy there, feeding some false info to the Fluxo ranks. They set their sights on B.
And there's so many gaps because of Sandwich and Short. Like, you don't know. Kai has to care about flank. He's not holding B right now. He needs to pick a position where he can get 1-for-1 at the back of the site, but he's about to be seen crossing in, and now it's disastrous. This M4 has to do it all. Full health, but can't connect the dots. Kai, one shot, he's gone from the AWP, and Nyx can give it a go. But without the jump, he has no timing advantage. And it seems like Eternal Fire will be finding 9. Oh, no, he's dropped that, but they took the AK from under. So there's a Mac-10, but he's actually downgrading, and now he's in a fight with a USP. Oh dear.
He gets to choose which Mac-10 he wants, at least.
Oh, this skin. He's kind of downgraded his weapon. Would you agree?
Yeah, MP9 goaded. But it won't matter anyway, why KD goes and hunts it down. You know, since getting into this second half, Eternal Fire have done a very good job of misdirecting Fluxo across these rounds. Rather disappointingly, Fluxo as well aren't... Considering you have art in this team, there are moments where I wish the others would try and look for the info more. Like when they're in that 3-on-3, the fact that Zantares firing 2 bullets in mid as like a fake was enough to get everyone paranoid about the mid to A, and the A player was just sat in sandwich, like hoping to catch someone. The entire map was dark that entire round in the 3-on-3 to Fluxo. Sure, maybe you look for info and it costs you
That's insane. From Zantares POV, that's, yeah. Boom. Uh-oh, the mollies are about to be a problem against these pistols, burning out positions. Eternal Fire just running rampant on this anti. Arcade is clearing this. So Eternal Fire, 10-7. This is it. They've got to win this gun round now, or they are in a deep hole, Harry.
Yeah, if they don't find success here and now, I mean, this map is over, right? They're going to be broken with Eternal Fire jumping at the bit to walk it over the line. So this is where Fluxo have to show why they picked into Mirage, why they thought they could take Eternal Fire on here for that $20,000 bounty sat on the head of the Eternal Fire squad. But even then, like, as far as your final buys go, like your last hurrah, your last-ditch attempt to try and bring yourself back into this game, this is so far from ideal. Even now, with 1 minute and 25 seconds left, you've got 2 smokes, 2 nades. Don't have flashes. That kind of means you're going to struggle to force any sort of engagement in mid. This likely means, like we saw in rounds gone by, where they didn't have a lot of info, there weren't a lot of plays to be made to figure out where this was ending. I think it's going to be more of the same. You don't have the util to take peeks and go for info plays. You have to just shelter in place and hope that you can win these straight-up fights. And it's Antares moving the way of these players in the ladder room. B-Rap on the cards. Here's the gamble from Fluxo. Do they walk that con smoke? It looked like they were going to. They certainly could now as Antares takes the contact. Mid has just been cleared by Art, pushing through the con smoke, so they know that it's B. 3 players about to be here for Fluxo. They've managed their resources well, considering they were on the back foot in terms of the util in this round, with no info going their way. They've got everyone in the right place, but it might not matter. Maja and Woxic kills a piece. Kai swinging it wide, and it's left onto Maja. This kill, this round win, tees up Eternal Fire for the victory, and their captain takes them there.
Oh, he's having a great day. He is crisp, isn't he? Won a lot of important fights as Maja in this matchup, and that's a clutch to boot in a key gun round to keep Fluxo down and out. A very nice try. Players caught with nades out. They do manage to blow the planter off. But look at these shots from Maja. Beautiful. 3 crisp bursts. Oh, that feels good. No weak link here. Jota 8 and 12, but it hasn't felt like a consequential score as Eternal Fire have run away with this T side. Hero gun for Kai. And Maja creeps under. Woxic might be in... Oh, I think you saw them both there. Now Woxic the AWP. Oh, okay. A chance, perhaps, but Xantares with his famed peak. Enough of that.
There's just been a few moments in this game where I almost wish Fluxo would just be... Oh, that's a nice chase, at least, from Art.
Yeah. He's... dude, yeah. He's been the most fun.
He'd already landed the dink, so he's like, nah, I'm coming for you, Xantares.
Finishing this one. I got nothing to lose.
But no, like, there have just been some moments for some of the other individuals where it's like, sometimes the info is enough, you know? Like, even...
He ran through his own molly for that.
Screw it, Art. Just win the whole damn round. Why not?
No one's on B. Go get that gun top mid, but soon
What do you mean Art's on B?
Soon to be. But not soon enough. He hit his head.
He tried to go too fast. Humans weren't made to go this fast.
Sometimes you gotta hit the brakes. That one was really quick. It's kind of been the art show in this game, right?
I was just trying to say it, but like a bunch of times over. There was the round where every time I go to talk about this, man, they pick up a crazy kill to suddenly bring themselves right back in. This time it's Pyria. Oh, Woxic, who was tagged up earlier on, forced out by the molly.
Just don't peek.
Can just steal himself away, can just hide. There's the swing, but a swing and a miss. Maja can't do it again. And so Fluxo dig deep with a big flank on the cards from Pyria. It's going to be close. It's down to the wire. There might just be time as Fluxo finds salvation in that round. 2K from Art, 2K on the wrap from Pyria.
Didn't need to peek short. It wasn't required of the AWP there. Now they did peek it together, but he's wide, so it didn't actually help. Short Pyria is going to drop in anyway.
I can't believe they just won that.
They did just win that. That's crazy, isn't it?
And that's kept your whole game alive.
Yeah,
like this
was about to lose.
This was about to be over.
Yeah.
Mirage was going to be gone. Your map pick.
It's very well. I'm glad you didn't tell your little story.
You got to seize every opportunity right now if you're Fluxo.
Yeah. What's your little story though? Is it irrelevant at this point?
No, it's irrelevant at this point.
Okay, game on. All timeouts burnt for Fluxo. They're still here. And that's kickstarted by Art, remember. Dropping under to chase Antares to swing into his own molly to find a top mid kill to give him a gun to come up cat to win the round.
Describing an art play just sounds so wrong, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Dropping window through the smoke, AK pickup through your own Molotov, fight top mid.
That's exactly what I said.
It's broken.
Well, can they fix it?
Okay, what's Art doing this round?
It's a masterpiece. It's up on the stairs.
Fight stairs.
Swing wide. Ooh, what's it? Ooh, naughty. Cool lineup. Whole map's quiet. Fake on B right now. Art's running, obviously.
Period just nearly burned from 100 to 0.
Don't love that. Art's here, but then Art's gone. But he might come back if they do a second pump. That's the big bait, Harry. It's the double pump fake from Woxic. They're going to do it. He's dropped another molly back to Johto, who's going to throw a car. Woxic's going to X-egg. Art's going to over-rotate, and they're going to contact out A. This round is on history. That's huge.
Yeah, it's a huge kill to have picked up, but you still have 3 players out of position, right? Eternal Fire have got their wish, and as you say, it's all eyes on history. Nyx has moved in to join him. They do have a semblance of a crossfire set up here. A second player waiting back in Con could lend a helping hand, but it's this history AWP that opens up. No more found. Kai holds the line with 1, and Art arrives just in time on this push-up through the spawn. Xantares 1v3.
No chance.
13 seconds. He's got to have a bout of luck go his way if he wanted to win this. And not even going to attempt the bomb plant. That will seal his fate. Fluxo. They deliver on the wild roller coaster round that was the previous.
Yeah.
They start chaining them together now, and suddenly this isn't plain sailing for Eternal Fire.
To be honest, if Period doesn't get that kill on B, that's how that round spirals, right? Because then they believe in the rotation, they believe in the fake a little bit longer. History obviously hangs around. He gets the info very early. Wow. Nice retake for Fluxo. Like we said, off the back of that crazy round win in the previous, they are still in this. It's Eternal Fire on Eco around this AK save.
I think this AK save is actually like pretty awkward for Eternal Fire more than anything else, because, you know, this late into the game.
Awkward for who? Well,
you're either thinking Xantares is to win it all now single-handedly, or you're going to have someone like running an SMG down the tail end of the game.
Ricardo followed him under with armor, Glock. So they were ready, they buy up, they put it to use.
They believe in Xantares. They believe in what this guy is capable of.
Are you not? Have some faith.
2 kills from Xantares with that hero gun.
Wait, he just got dinked. From where? From there? Woxic just dinked the AWP on top ticket. I don't even know how that happens. I literally don't know how he got that damage. That's the craziest shot. He didn't even look open. And now a hero AK surrounded by default pistols and P250s is about to win this round.
I mean, Fluxo have at least gambled correctly. History's going to get here in time, but they send the pistols in first at this point in the round. Use them to soak up shots from this AWP. History has to be a difference maker, but they're too close. Xantares. It's all Xantares.
It's even planting.
Hero gun, hero player. He has saved the day for Eternal Fire.
Yeah, kind of. How do those words taste?
I know, man. Everything I've said is wrong.
Are they sour?
Why did I count Xantares out? Yeah, the joke is on me.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Xantares in form, in his element, thriving, moisturized, you name it. All of it belongs to Xantares.
Unbothered, Harry. Just unbothered.
In his lane.
In his elephant. Period's hit some nice ones in this map so far. But unfortunately unable to make his claim on this round as Eternal Fire win it in middle and close it on B.
How'd you look so relaxed after that, really?
20,000 hours?
Yeah, true. All right, that would do it.
business. That was such a scary round for history. What can you do?
On that point, brought to you by Xantares Peak.
At least they have money.
Oh, bro, look at the confidence. He's just surging through Xantares. He is run straight into middle, calling all the bluffs he can. He doesn't believe they're going to try and fight him here. He's got a strong line. Meanwhile, History's taken this AWP into the apartments. Biel at Xantares there, just like waiting for any sort of repeak. History scoped up.
This might be a nice start because they are very B focused, so it could just be a mid to B. But they want to take mid first. Magic coming from under. Got to be patient in upper. Here they come up short. History. Got to have to pick his fights wisely. Only gets so many shots. Oh, did they see him there? A little jump check. He knows what to expect. Flash, dodge, hit, shot. Xantares gets the entry in History. He is living on the edge right now. On a tight line, nowhere to go. Jota hunts him down. This could be it. All it is Nyx. 1v4, an eternal fire. Blink and you miss it. They find some beautiful shots on this T side.
Yeah, hell of a map put forward from Xantares. Very much the one who saves the day, but for Eternal Fire here, taking down Fluxo on their pick, doing that after Fluxo win a Hail Mary round of their own and stopping them in their tracks with one hero gun is so easier said than done, but you're getting Xantares at his very best right now. This is, you know, Xantares in his element, and for that reason, this is very exciting. You don't want to go anywhere. Dust 2 coming up next.
Yes, indeed. Mirage may have been the pick of Fluxo, but it was taken home by Eternal Fire. Pretty back and forth in that first half, but I feel like when Eternal Fire really found their footing on that T side of things, it looked like they were the dominant team.
It was a bit more competitive than I would have thought, to be completely honest. Again, I don't know where I place Eternal Fire for the sake of the year and what kind of expectations I have for them, but in this specific matchup, I feel like there's a clear favorite. And in the first half, as you said, for the first 12 rounds, it actually felt like Fluxo were the better team. They had plenty of opportunities to get a lot of rounds. They were making the playing field uncomfortable for EF as well. A lot of times we saw Xantares push up towards middle, getting caught off guard. A lot of times we saw EF try to be proactive, but Fluxo would either make a, let's say, a gamble call or find a way to punish it. So first half, very competitive. Second half, as you said, EF all over.
It seemed a little bit messy from my side, at least in the beginning. You know, they tried to do a lot of things, and it took a little time for Eternal Fire to find their footing. You know, coming into the second half, they seemed to be a lot more comfortable going into it. So I think they just needed to figure out, and, you know, get maybe a little of the game jitters going off, you know, and find their groove and find out how they want to approach the game, because, you know, maybe they don't have that much insight on how Fluxo wants to play, and sometimes it can be difficult.
But that's also what Art is doing, right? And you must have noticed that as well. If you can make the game uncomfortable, if you can make it messy, and I think the key word is messy, then Art will make the game messy. That's his way of winning. That's his way of thriving in chaos and thriving in this whole scenario. And Peter, you have round 10 right here where you see a classic Art play.
This is the classic Art play. You know, he smokes off the balcony, actually just decides to run through, and you can see the AWP getting completely caught, and I can guarantee you that I guess it's Voxic standing right here being like, what are you doing? He's even, I can even hear him screaming on TV, he's out in the smoke.
But it's also the fact that, I don't know if we can run the clip again, but it's also the fact that he misses the first 20 bullets on a free kill. It's like, it's so much Art right there in that scenario. I think we should play the clip one more time just to see it play. He puts a smoke out here, and that's a good pressure smoke. And honestly, it applies a lot of pressure. He didn't run through a Molotov, then continues to catch off a player and then miss, is it 20 bullets, you know, in the back of a player, and then like somehow, some way, still finds a way to get a double kill right here.
He ends up with a triple, actually.
A triple in the entire round. It doesn't get more Art than that.
Yeah, for better or worse, we really saw both sides of Art coming out. It's kind of exactly what you alluded to, right? Like, you can expect the unexpected, but actually being able to react to it, that's a whole nother beast in itself, right?
It is definitely bad. Like, you can see it coming, and you know it's happening pretty much every round. But how are you going to react to it? Because it just happens so quickly. And in your brain, sometimes you think as a player, he's not going to do this. You know, there's no way he's going to walk through the smoke or run through a molly. But he just decides to do it anyway.
Yep, he manages to do it and manages to get a triple in the process. But then we move on to that second half. And as you aptly said, Eternal Fire, I think, on their T side, they looked much more in control. And unfortunately, Fluxo couldn't really push back too much.
Yeah, I think it's a case of them, you know, getting to control the pace in that T side as well. You saw a lot of B pops as well. You're going to see a lot of these highlights centering around the B bomb side. Xantares woke up as well, and then you saw clutches go their way. We had a Xantares 1v2 clutch clutch that was very influential. You have Major right here as well, winning a very important clutch. So it comes down to one thing being able to control the pace and being able to control where you're ending and finishing your rounds. Another one is the individual display that they were showing. Santaris, Wycadia, Voxic for that matter as well, they are better individuals than what we saw on the Fluxo side. And it's often showcased a little bit more on the T side when you're freed up to do whatever you want.
And don't get me wrong, like Santaris didn't have a bad game here, didn't have like the best game here. He has like a very mediocre game for him. He put out the effort that people expect him to do, and you know, watching Santaris play is always a joy, you know. And you know, the fact that he gets the help from both from Voxic but also from Wycadia in this series, you know, helps out. Even Major put-ups and stuff. The only one that maybe liked a little bit was Joda.
I think round 20 right here was a great example as well. EF in a scenario where Santaris have an AK, another mate of his has an AK, the rest of them are on pistol. Santaris comes in, finds a triple kill, wins the round. He can always change the tide of the game. He has that ability to, I like to phrase it as he can dictate the game with the rifle, and there's few rifle players in the world who have that ability.
Yeah, I think we saw a lot of Santaris peaks going down on the T side of things. How is that to go up against, Dupree? I'm sure you've had a fair few encounters with that.
Too many, probably. I mean, I think watching him play, I've played multiple hours of deathmatch alongside this guy, and sometimes you just need that little bit of break. So you jump into spectate, and then you start spectating Santaris when he's playing deathmatch, you know. And he's not running around tapping; he is spraying, turning around 360, doing all kinds of things. It is a pure joy.
Hey, you're telling me you join the deathmatch server, and then sometimes you just spectate Santaris?
After like maybe I've killed 100, and I say, oh, I need a break, and then I watch him play, and then he's been killing like 800. I was like, okay, this guy's
this guy's legit.
Yeah.
I hear he's like Blade's favorite player or something, just to take it completely off track. Blade loves a bit of Santaris. Who can blame him? Wycadia as well. I think he was a revelation of kind of last year, right? He's only 19 years old. I think he really put up some good stuff at EPL and kind of dipped off, obviously, towards the major.
I was about to say, right, because I feel like he had his debut around this time last year, if I'm not mistaken. I think I am Katowice as well, and the Blast group stage, he was doing well for himself. Then he had a period where he didn't get much done. Then he was doing fine at EPL again, and then dipped for the major. He's showing inconsistency, and maybe sometimes we forget that when you're 19 years of age, not everyone is Dunk, not everyone is Saibu, not everyone is going to come in the debut season and dominate. I think Wycadia slowly but surely is moving in the right direction, but he has shown inconsistency. There's no doubt, though, that when he's playing good Counter-Strike, when he's playing well, we see that in the FPL, we see it on Faceit, we see it on the Pro Circuit as well. He has a lot of talent, but for him, it maybe takes a bit more experience and a little bit longer process before we get to see the best of him.
And I think it's important to note that he's learning. As you mentioned, he's young. He's still there. You know, he's not supposed to be Santaris. He's supposed to be the co-star of the team, probably the second star rifle of this team. And if he can just up his consistency just a tiny bit more to help Santaris win these crucial rounds and do the things that he knows works for him, then I think, you know, he is in a good spot.
And I feel sorry for the kid, you know, in the sense that we have the Donks of the world, we have the Saibus of the world, and they've ruined it for all these other youngsters who are coming up, because now everyone has the expectation that when you're good and you're 17 years of age, you got to be the best of the best, right? Some players take time to develop. Some players takes a couple of years before they find their footing, and that's totally fine and totally okay. Not everyone can be Donk, not everyone can be Saibu.
We're so greedy as a community, aren't we? Like, we just demand so much from basically everybody. Let's round out the conversation about Fluxo, though. Obviously, unfortunately, this was that map pick coming into the series. First half, it did look promising, but I felt like it looked a little bit... It wasn't the cleanest Counter-Strike when we moved on to that second half, right?
No, it was messy, and as we spoke about, I think that's always going to be the case when Art is the in-game leader, and especially when he's surrounded by 3-4 youngsters who maybe lack a bit of experience on this level. So in reality, I like to say this because I think we got exactly what we expected. A somewhat competitive game where the better team won. It was messy at times, it was competitive at times, but at the end of the day, I don't think many people expect Fluxo to beat EF, regardless of it being their map pick or not.
No, definitely not. I think that Eternal Fire is a very solid new team. It's a map that they like to pick. It's a map they like to play, so they also feel very comfortable. And I'm going to be very curious to see if Art is going to bring in this whole furious style where you're just going to sit in Salobo.
Surely not.
Hopefully not. I hope he does not. I hope he has kind of reinvented himself a little bit or changed up the play style to be a little bit more diversity. But I can guarantee you, we're going to see Art going through the yard smokes into main, going into garage, maybe running through some Molotovs outside just to catch that frag.
Well, we're going to have to wait just a moment before we do dive into map number 2. That is going to be Dust 2, the map pick of Eternal Fire, the most wanted here at the Blast Bounty 2025.
Gong nedir?
Gerçeküstü oluşumları normalleştirmiş gümbürtüdür.
Nasıl yani?
Her şey Big Gong'la başladı. Öyle patladı ki önü alınamadı. tek çözüm sıkıştırmaktı.
Biz de öyle yaptık. Patlattık, sıkıştırdık. Etikon. Gayet orijinal, nadide güzellik.
Uyumaz gececiler. Çok çalışır uyumaz gececiler.
Oh yes, the Blast Open going to be returning to the beautiful city of Lisbon in Portugal at the end of March. And you guys can get your tickets now. Day tickets also available. They were released just yesterday. So make sure you head on over to blast.tv to get more info and secure your tickets for that. But back to the matchup at hand. We are now on the doorstep of Dust 2. Are you sighing because you don't like Dust 2?
No, I thought we were about to speak about Lisbon and a nice Mexican restaurant I found last time around that I'll definitely hook you guys up with if you're going and buying them tickets. So, but if you want to talk Counter-Strike, talk Counter-Strike.
Jacob, you went outside.
I went outside once.
You went outside.
And it was nice. Yeah.
Wow, you should try that a little bit more. Anyway, inside Dust 2, getting in the server. This is going to be Eternal Fire's pick. I like what EF do on Dust 2. I like their approach to things. I'm interested to see if Jota's going to be shaking that up a little bit.
Hopefully, and I just realized that I was talking about Nuke when we're going to play Dust 2, so that's going to be interesting.
Ukas.
Nuke's at the end, if we do
I
get
just
there.
really wanted to see Nuke. You realize that? Yeah. No, but Dust 2, I mean, like, this is gonna be also be the playground, I think, for Santaris. You know, this is where he spends a lot lot of hours on deathmatch, you know. So that's going to be very interesting. I think
that's where you've been spectating him.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. You know, like I think it's gonna be really tough for them. I think obviously for Fluxo, I think it's gonna be a blowout for Eternal Fire. I think this is the map where they will actually have a hard time.
If anything, you know, the silver lining, I guess, is that Dust 2 is probably the most simplistic map in the map pool. Like you can do a couple of B executes, you can do a couple of A goes. It doesn't require that deep of a strat book, which I don't think Fluxo have right now with Art as an in-game leader. So I agree with you. It speaks to the strength of Santerra, speaks to the strength of EF. But if anything, I think Fluxo will feel somewhat comfortable on Dust 2 as well. So it's going to be a case of who's the better team, who has the better players. We know the answer to that already, which is why we think EF is winning, but it should be a good game.
Fluxo are going to be starting on the CT side of things, means Eternal Fire obviously on the T side. Where should Fluxo be kind of looking if, you know Xantares is going to be hunting you down? What approach can you take on that defense?
I think the difficulties of Xantares is that he's like all over the place.
Yeah.
Like he gets the freedom he wants to because he is so good. So I think they're gonna be careful about like the whole map. There's like no specific place, but he likes to go into lower dark. He likes to go up in a catwalk. He likes to be everywhere, you know. So there's a lot of things that need to be worried about. Obviously, I think they just need to play not scared. They need to go into position where they dare to make the plays. If they go out and just feel like we cannot make any decisions, even though he maybe has a good game, or if Voxy starts up with a good game, bullying them down mid by the up, you know, I think it's very important that they keep their cool and just play with their confidence.
I want to throw a different name into the mix, you know. Santeros, we know is going to be great. No worries about that. Jota, the new guy coming into the team. We didn't see him go off at any point on the first map on Mirage. He has had quite a decent showing, you know, leading up to his entry into Eternal Fire. I want to see him do well. I want to see him be unleashed a little bit. I want to see him find some footing. And it's always nice to be a new guy having your debut and coming off in great style. We've seen that in this tournament quite often already by some of the new guys. We saw it with Icy early on and Flamus from VP. We didn't see it from Jota, so maybe Dust 2 could be the map where we get to see what he's all about for the first time.
I think this is a really interesting fusion of, like, you know, the young new blood coming into Counter-Strike, and then, you know, you've got Art, who's obviously has such a history in Counter-Strike, but also Major, right? Like, he's one of the OG. He's old, I guess, as Jacob's saying. But the fact that he's been able to sort of, you know, foster this Turkish team, right? He'd always said he wanted to go back to his roots, try and bring up a team from that region. I'm kind of interested to hear from your perspective, right? As somebody that, you know, has had such a history in multiple iterations of Counter-Strike, what is it like to be adapting to the kind of new style and making sure that you're nurturing the new talent as well?
I love this whole playing as a national team. I'm kind of missing it. You know, I miss the old times where all the teams were from like the same nationality. You had this national banner thing going on, like you could beat these teams, you know. And also, I like that Eternal Fire are staying true to the roots that they wanted, you know, promote the Turkish scene, you know, bringing in the talents, and also come to a conclusion that you know, Calix has been a part of the Turkish scene for a long time. You know, he's been in and out of this roster as well for many times. And I think that the realization of also trying to bring in new players, you know, also with Arcadia, I think it shows that they are not afraid of making changes, not afraid of making up like the new players, put them in, see if they got something, you know, because they also need to get to the point where they dare to try and make these decisions and getting new players inside.
Well, Eternal Fire looking hot on map number 1 of Mirage. Harry, Hugo, is that going to continue on Dust 2?
I think there's a pretty...
Yes. Yes. Yeah, we can all agree.
You're a lot blunter than I am on this. Yeah, I don't know.
There's a good chance, Harry.
I just think as well on the other side of things, even for Fluxo, domestically, right, this is actually a team that's had some really good results, but even in spite of that, like, Dust 2's never been a huge part of that question. More often than not, they try to avoid it where they can. The few times they have played it, kind of 50-50. So I don't have super high hopes here for the Fluxo squad. For Eternal Fire, meanwhile, I share in the sentiments of wanting to see a bit more from Jota, right? He's the new face on this team, the one that was bought in as the season kind of unraveled for Eternal Fire. He's meant to be a problem solver and meant to be bringing more to the table than Calix could. So I hope that we get to see him put his best foot forward here on what is, you know, one of the main maps for this Eternal Fire squad.
Yeah, and a map that Sanga actually didn't mind playing either. So I've got some optimism for him. It's still his debut at the end of the day, and it's the debut for a couple of these players on Fluxo inside of Europe as well. So, you know, to be expected, some teething issues, some slow starts, maybe some struggles, but at least you got Xantares playing a T-side like that. My God, did he show up to start this series? And if Eternal Fire have T-side again, oh, they could be in a lot of trouble. Got a little lower push. Some Julies, a classic here. Eternal Fire. 5 ready to go.
Oh,
Odd.
whack-a-mole. One more peek. Oh my god, he's still alive. Wasting a lot of time right now is out. And it's bought a lot of time for his teammates to move in. Still, the kills found for Eternal Fire. It's that backstabbing through the tunnels that looks to seal the deal. Pistol round secured. Fluxo meet them head on. A full-on clash over towards B, courtesy of R, making them waste so much time on that back plat position.
Yeah, it's a danger of not clearing lower, right? We actually hear most Dust 2 pistols. CTs get Julies with first spawn and just sit in lower. Happened in the last series as well. Very common, so super fast flank. Force up for Eternal Fire. Looking to run it back, perhaps. Go through the smoke. Oh, has to cancel that nade pull. Period. Damage off from the door, smoked off. They don't even look at R. He just lines him up. Easily done by Fluxo. Not even a casualty. Not much space taken there by Eternal Fire. They all just swing to car to get away from that door with no smoke in the way. Better start here for Fluxo.
Everyone on Eternal Fire has a little wry smile, though. I don't know.
They got something in store.
Have a little, like, cheeky look about them.
Yeah, I see what you mean. They know something we don't.
There's just, you know, a little turn in the corner of Madge's mouth. You can just see it cracking through there. I know he's looking forward to whenever they bring those guns out in the next round. Oh, did the nade to cross. It ends up tagging him. That's how fast he is. Oh, clean.
Pyria has been sharp. That's what I'll say. He's looked like the sharpest player on Fluxo.
Kai ruins the ace.
Got 3 kills. There's no crowd here, Madger. We're not in Malta anymore.
That would have been Pyria's ace. Just saying. 4 kills, not bad.
You out for him then?
But there's the guy who ruined it, Kai.
Leave him alone, man.
Gotta get him wherever you can, I guess.
Started a pretty savage beginning of the game here.
All right. Let's see what those little creeping smiles were all about then, Eternal Fire. Slow burner of a first round. They have Woxic scoping up on mid early. Everyone else waiting up here in the top of middle. So they do want to take this mid control away. They're waiting for that volley of util. They had Woxic hang around for a moment, see if he was given anything on the orb. Now he's smoked off deep at the doors. Molly on Cat stops the aggression. And it's given them the staging platform to go ahead and take mid. But look at the reply from Fluxo. Late aggression out through Cat. That Molly has divided them, cut them in half. 2 players still ahead of it, though, and that's too much for Xantares. The rest of Eternal Fire get out long. After you see the double push like that over on Catwalk, you know room has to be afforded elsewhere. So they've gotten very deep down the long side. Even by the time that smoke blooms, they've walked up close. So crossing in behind it is Jota. He's got assistance, not alone in this endeavor. Looks for that opener on the short side, won't quite get it. He's got control over the site here.
Oh, nice, Molly.
Molly burns out history, puts him in the prying eyes of Wycadia.
Oh, yeah, you can just see him, but it was only one way. One gets planted, some low players on either side. This one's up for debate, but Eternal Fire taking important space Issue is that smoke will fade and he'll be left in the open. Fluxo even going for this? Are they grouping back on Cat? Yes, Nick's playing very late. Icadia spotted. Got to move away from short here. If they tuck in on the ramp, the clock is going to be the biggest problem for Fluxo. Woxic has the cross. Flick down, not going to connect. Nix moves in. It's Art with a follow-up inside of the site. Matcher again has got a clutch up here for Eternal Fire, and it seems like he's good for the job. No time for this, surely. I think just about. Oh, what a save.
Nix has just secured it.
Again.
Milliseconds the difference. Damn good try out of Madger.
Yeah, it's Woxic holding the cat swing, but Nix came up first. That would have been the kill to do it.
No, full blind. It was close for history, but they're a lot faster than he was. Antares, what the hell? Quick flip up onto Kai as well. Lovely scenes. Trying to finally break through. They use Antares as the sledgehammer to crack open. This A site Art is on the board with one. In the meantime, catching Wicadia. That was over in mid, so they've lost like the split component here, but it might not matter.
Nix has a great angle. This could go wrong. I say it is Antares.
Yeah,
but...
right? Oh, God.
Oh, they're so jiggly. Oh. Oh, double tag. Oh, with the molly.
Wait, is he actually going to attempt this? The molly will delay the plant at least.
Do it.
Burns Antares down even lower, but he's hit 3 blinders in this round already. Missed shot from the Woxic scout. Art has softened them up. He's given himself a real fighting chance here.
Oh. They're all just hiding. It's great. They're just letting Woxic go.
Dude, that round more than most showcased like the terror of the Xantares peak. Did you see how close every single time he came to just like cresting over the top of ramp? But he knows those margins so well, and then you get given that one chance to hit the head, and if you miss, that's it, you're dead. That's the effect of going up against Xantares.
Also, there's a couple of examples in this map and the last where we really just see Xantares like play the perfect trade. He gets in the position to entry and then he lets someone else go first, and I love it every time because he did it on that one AK round. He let Wicadia go ahead of him. He did it there with Jota. He lets Jota swing first, who dies. Xantares trades. Like having Xantares in the late round, yet still being able to entry feels like just the best deal possible. There is that entry. Madger's with him, chasing down the escape. Five on 4, but Art ever aggressive. Oh, just slides out of the angle. It's awkward timing. And it's not happening. Not in this one. Money broken. Nix needs this gun.
I mean, we come off the back of a year that's been dominated by conversations around the donk slide, but you can never forget the Xantares peak.
It's a classic.
It is still like a very signature way of going about it, though, right? It's like a sick combination of some great movement in combat. The sort of way that he'll like to pivot from, like, he actually likes to kind of go for like the close to wide type swing.
Yeah, and just a lot of stutter stepping. And perfect pre-aim, I think is...
It's very jiggly, it's very wiggly.
Yeah.
Close to wide to throw the aim through like multiple like layers of adjustment for the opponent.
First.
And then he just bops you, and that's what we're getting.
They're just going to continue to play long. There's no one here in this round. Full eco. Art's got a Zeus on B. They won't be coming anywhere near him.
Yeah, if they don't go B, where else would you Zeus on Dust 2? I guess, like, you could go... No, there isn't many. It's a very big map.
Yes.
In A, behind the single box, with a flash, flash over, jump into the ramp fight, Zeus pulled, but...
You're coping, but maybe. Same angle. Xantara's peak.
Same result.
You don't even want to smoke in this round. Just take the fights. Don't want anyone getting cheeky. He's heard them flanking. Both of them. Business. Here comes the buy.
I mean, the fact that we're having a hot start from Wycadia and Xantares is certainly troublesome. You feel like Woxic still has more to show off here on the AWP, especially once we start seeing history don his for the side of Fluxo, and that's going to happen now. Woxic actually had the spawn for long here, so he's going to take that. Great timing for this peak. First man makes it past, though. Nick's able to get into the pit. Looks like he was going to run in and fight that. This is wild, but it works out. Woxic is not prepared for it. And so that's how Fluxo find the advantage. They just charge headfirst at Woxic, scoped up in the long doors.
It's one way to do it. But Eternal Fire just want to hit B.
Art having a standstill and defend a bomb site. Things you hate to see.
Good luck to him. They gotta try and help him out. Pyria flashing. Xantara's off middle. Art's got one on that B site. He's being flashed, being naded, everything in his face. Fire as well. Pistols out. It's getting desperate. 3-on-3 still, despite losing that control in middle. Art's bought enough time, but there isn't a kit. There isn't even a flash to throw them into this retake. Oh dear.
Sick late molly as Xantares arriving late to the B site. But still with that bit of util to throw in, just slows this down even more. Fluxo now trying to make their move, and they do deal with Xantares.
Gotta go now, though.
I attempted to get in through the window. Jota's got the cover, and that allows Major to swing it wide and nail the transfer.
Kai had to go, man. He just had to swing in there. They had the advantage. His team were out of the door, and he wasn't even holding for a reswing at plat or anything. He was just waiting for his team to scale, but they didn't have time.
Can't imagine Kai's in the most confident of headspaces there. I think about how the series has gone for him. It was a real rough go at it back on Mirage. Hasn't exactly accomplished much since we've gotten into Dust 2, and so in like trying to play it safe, it feels like it slows that down and hangs his teammates out to dry a little bit.
He's trying to trade. He's trying to trade, but he needs to be the initiator. Woxic with a very fast mid pick. Ooh. Oh my god, that works. Aren't you mad, man? It's so much fun. He's been the best part of this series. Dead now, of course.
Yeah, that's always the problem. Like, it's really sick for the first to go, but then he just can't stop. He's like,
saying it always works.
He's addicted to going really, really fast.
Deathmatch in this round.
5 in a row for Eternal Fire. Long time since Fluxo put anything on the board in spite of that nice beginning. Please just let me run through one more smoke.
T-side's coming out, don't worry. It's coming. Coming quick. Eternal Fire making a meal, or I guess not making a meal of this game. It's kind of like a starter. Fluxo picked this match. They certainly got close in the first game of Mirage? Is this where the differences will really show on Dust? Yeah, that's an annoying deck. Like, come on, bro. I was ready for that and I still lost. That's what Dupree was saying. Like, he knew exactly what Art was going to do and he still couldn't stop it. Sometimes. Art's got the Org.
Yeah, we were all relieved when he found his way into Fluxo. Zantares. Is he going to try and art them? Play right through the long smoke? And he's taken all this space.
Oh, you had to leave, Nix. You were given a chance. They let you leave.
That was, okay, I can finally feel like I can say it. That was one of the issues I actually had for them back in Mirage. Like, there were times where you're kind of given a chance to get the hell out of there, or you've got some info, but that's fine, you know, that's enough. You don't always have to hang around. Feels like sometimes Fluxo pick weird hills to die on in these games. Thinking about like the rounds where Pyria was like aggressive in the apartments, he's already dumped an entire mag, but then he's like still hanging around up there. It's like, no, come on, man, you can go. Like, sometimes you can just not fight. But here's the push up. Nix has already been sacrificed. Art on the board. Once again, besting Arcadia in that head-to-head over in the tunnels.
Yeah, he just met MP9 into Org. It's not been a fun couple of rounds.
You know who's been wrecking every time they've entered up through the ramp? It's Zantares, and won't end now. It's the one quick kill on a Kai. Before history trades that out, Molly's going to make life hot for him, though, and forces the swing into the Woxic AWP. Pyria offering up resistance. Joe's dropped the bomb, like, somebody plant. It's like, buddy, you are the guy who is to plant. Gonna start plugging in those numbers now. Imagine watching for the cross-up. Pyria looking for that first kill to bring him in, and he secures it. There's the trade, and Madja, once more, is so dependable in these clutch moments.
Who knew that MVP of this game is going to be Madja? He's won, like, 2 massive clutches in the series, maybe 3. And he's 12-5 right now.
He's done it twice here on Dust 2 alone.
Yeah, he won a big clutch on the first map. Remember with that 3K at bench. Damn. Madja making magic.
Talk about a difference in like mindset for the games. Madja's alive in every one of the clutches to go on and win them. Art, meanwhile, is facing everyone head-on at the start of the round.
Well, quite literally here, he just got tagged for 90 on the cross. Jumping through the smoke, period, blocking them. Oh, that could have been wonderful. That's kind of funny, like, fully blocking them. If he stopped the first player from getting out, he wanted to walk through the smoke. They could all appear here at once. 3, 2, 1. Oh. Okay.
See, and it's
not
like
what they had in mind. Yeah, like, I thought they were all going to go.
Like, all go.
All go. Okay.
But it's all going nowhere fast here for Fluxo.
Yes.
Eternal Fire, 7 rounds straight.
You definitely feel like you just can't make the right call if you're Fluxo right now. Like, everything you're doing, you're running into just really sharp players. And Eternal Fire aren't exactly playing a standard game of Dust. They are just kind of going for every kill they can, because they've yet to been proven that they won't win it. Remember, this is a 4-0 lead with 1 gun round for Fluxo, and then Eternal Fire have not stopped.
With the position change, no longer playing in the tunnels.
Yeah.
Thinking, okay, in all my pushes, I haven't made it over to the long doors yet, so let's see if I can get involved on this side of the map. But history. Oh, it's only the leg. That's annoying. That's frustrating.
Was it a tag to the wall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Madja down to 10. Opener secured. Orb dropped. And now they could very, very quickly take the space out on the catwalk. That's awkward.
Weird smoke. Like, he's ahead of the molly. They don't know. Just tells him he's there, and they immediately peek him. And this is Fluxo running out of gas here, I think. They tried to pick Eternal Fire. They picked their poison, and, well, they're getting poisoned. Wicardia with another. It's only Kai. 1v5, and that is it. Eternal Fire, dominant T-half on Dust 2, making a statement.
Mac and cheese mi o? Yeni Knorr çabuk makarnayla istediğin an çabuğuna çekil. 3 farklı seçeneğiyle kaynar su dök, karıştır, 5 dakikada hazır. Yeni Knorr çabuk makarna.
Well, they might have lost the first 4, but past that point, Eternal Fire don't drop a single round. Fluxo's time at the Blast Bounty now hangs in the balance. And to even have a chance of claiming the bounty on the head of Eternal Fire, they would have to long out this series in which they've been on a drought of rounds, take us to a third, go the distance and hope to win that too. It's not looking good for Fluxo. Eternal Fire mean business and they're looking for a clean dispatch of their Brazilian counterparts here. Zantares put on a show to open this up. In the second map, it's been all about Magia and his high-flying clutches. But Fluxo, really, we've been looking to Art more often than not. Him and Pyria being the two trying to make a real difference here for the Fluxo squad. This has been a Dust 2 that has not been dominated by AWPers on either side of the server. Both History and Woxic struggling, so keep a keen eye on them to see if either of them can have a recovery in this second half.
It's all about the rifles right now. Zantares fighting middle. 1 by 1. Going to get out of there, reinforces B stack they've got going on. Could fall back into a late B hit here. Kaya's in upper. We've got Fluxo moving up short, but looking like a bit of a fake out right now with mid to be util being lined up. Good shot for Woxic. They are a Gandalf. This is forcing a heavy rotate, but they're realizing it's only one guy actually. It's only one guy in the site. Now they've seen the bomb in middle. Now it's getting awkward. This plan is erupting.
Oh, this has gone so wrong. So horribly wrong for Fluxo. Eternal Fire pieced it all together, and they even spotted the bomb trying to go lower tunnels. And at that point, Fluxo were actually committing into a stacked bomb site knowingly, because it was all a part of the plan. It's left to Nyx. 1v4 as this begins. Deals with the first player, but they hear him now running up through the catwalk. He can hear the rotate short, so he's got a bit of info, but Match is the one to get past. And this guy has been so dependable for Eternal Fire. He's not going to drop the ball now.
No.
Pistol round secured. Eternal Fire want to make this a very quick affair. That's now 9 rounds straight for the Turkish squad.
Are they going to do it clean, man? That's a question. Fluxo have to take one eco, come up with a buy next. History's bought a scout at 2 and 11, so I guess he's going to scout back-to-back rounds. Just trying to do anything to force an opening kill here for Fluxo. Relieve some pressure. Oh, Zantara says, Ute already. That's a scary prospect. Could be a big nade. Ugh, as soon as Fluxo are ready to go. Oh, that was his chance. Ripped away, as will be the round. And here we go. It's akin to the end of Mirage. Yeah. This is it.
Yeah, this is
Win
the
this round or you're done.
Yeah. You know, Sap Fluxo, after some good results within their region, right? Yeah. Sure, might have fallen short of the run into the RMR, but past that point, going on like a 10-series winning streak, picking up some wins, looking good within the region. They came here with dreams. Eternal Fire, though, not a fan of Nyx nor the rest of Fleetwood Mac. They have no desire to give it over.
Nice. Oh, to the front line. Stay clear middle and get up catwalk. And they're not even, Eternal Fire, giving away a chance to get a pick here with a scout, a missed Molotov. Very passive setup from Eternal Fire. Torres brings the boom. And maybe he can give them a little justice.
If they're able to get in towards this A site, it's very problematic for Eternal Fire. Even if you know you trade favorably, get into like a 3-on-3, sorry, a 2v2 in like the retake, you're left with an auto shotgun and an MP9 left in it. So far from ideal there. There is still route to success here for Fluxo, nice and that's certainly not a bad way to start.
Let's go.
Period. Double opener. Tries to make it a third. Jota wrestles back, but he's got his work cut out for him. 2 quick kills, he'll retreat to the long side and won't let them deal with him. Can look to be a nuisance later on. There's that auto shotty though, and there was always going to be mileage varying on that. For Wycadia.
Yeah, I like it on B, but Dust 2 doesn't lend itself to that kind of weaponry, does it? Fluxo coming through. I mean, Art with another nice call. Comes out mid to B first. Gets his entry. Then they dry swing cat. They find the scout. Fluxo trade out pretty nicely on the A cross. Not much to it. The default works well.
But like, you know, this one is also like a bit of a product of the fact that it's the bonus round for Eternal Fire. They don't have any means of kind of taking those early fights. You don't want to be in the long-range engagements when Fluxo are bringing out AKs into the round. They've got scouts in play. You're rocking a bunch of SMGs and a shotgun that you've had since the second round. Still, these were really nice openers as well from Pyria. Antares, you don't get to shake your head at that, bro. Not after what you've done to these guys all across the series. It's one nice shot against you. Come on now.
I do like watching Flux on the cam. Every time they win like a swing round, they really do know the impact of it, and they're always trying to hype each other up, get back in it, not give up. They're doing it across Mirage when they won that crazy eco round near the end of the game. They're believing, and good for them.
Yeah, but nearly 20 kills deep Madger. It's like Bane in this situation. Is admirable, but mistaken. Ooh, Arcadia.
Yeah.
Oh, he Zeus them. The second Zeus that's been purchased up, but the first to find success. Pyria.
Off he goes.
Tased out of the round. Jota with a push to the top of mid. Won't get anything from it. Now they hold on, wait and see if there's any more tiptoeing through. That rifle's out in no man's land, so Madger will be hard pressed to get it.
If he had a Zeus though, Harry.
This is the bomb here in top of mid. 2 dinks with a USP can make the round wild, but he should never get this kill.
Oh no, he's running away. He's not even looking.
I'm just putting attention on it now.
Okay, yeah. It's fine. It's fine.
You literally can't hold this forever if you're Ace, though. You're the guy with the bomb.
Okay, good clear. Now Madger getting greedy.
Ah, it's close to being on the right timing.
Going into the stack, but why am I even giving this too much look? It's still a full eco for Eternal Fire. It's a state of the game, 10-6. Do love a Zeus though. Nothing like a Zeus. And there it is. Woxic, welcome back, buddy. First AWP of the half, puts it in the head of Art. And now they're just grouping for the B hit, but they've been blocked by a smoke. Madger hearing them coming, but peeks deep in history. Given a 4v4, they don't need to commit off this. But they still look invested.
Oh, Arcadia catches that flash awkwardly, but thankfully no one from Fluxo comes pushing through on the back of it. I'll slow it down for now. In this kind of lull of the action, you want to try and put some pressure on elsewhere. Problem you've got, you just don't have a lot of util to work with. Nick says it all. And he's rejoining the rest of the gang over at B. So it's going to be a very dry fake from Kai here. Feigning the cat control. A kill would go a really long way, even forcing the AWP out of Woxic, making him give up the line. Let's put a bit more pressure on. You won't have as fast a rotate here from Eternal Fire, but it shouldn't do much to shuffle up the setup. 2-2 will be maintained for this Eternal Fire squad.
But only one in the site. Can they waste Santara's time with this mid control? Kai is trying to do so. He's got no mid to be smoke to assist him. That's a good Molotov, but history.
They have another molly.
He's doing it again with the AWP. 2 picks in this B bomb site. They've just got to go in. Santaras will not use his Molotov. He will play inside of the smoke. He will let them pass, let them enter, only to try and drop this bomb with seconds to spare. Can he do it on his own? They've seen him in the smoke. History dropped. Santaras can't follow up, but there was a way, there was a world that he could have won that 1v4.
Communication must have been wild there for Fluxo, because the AWP fired off at him, but everyone else was still looking in every crevice over towards B. So much so, it even seemed to take Santaras by surprise. Well, the AWP shot at me, but no one else is turning around. What's happened? Still a big celebration there from Fluxo as they're making this comeback happen. Now they've broken the money of Eternal Fire.
Ooh, pushing lower as well. Another Zeus is... 2 Zeus. Zeus.
And Zeus are nuts. As we've seen already.
Oh my God,
Santares. Deagle.
I'm scared.
Nervous. Yeah, I'm weirdly nervous.
I'm scared.
Okay, it's gone. Thank goodness. Pyria's here. History helping out.
Fluxo are making this comeback look tantalizing, Harry, though. T-side dust too. Anything's possible. Now this is one of the places you could use a Zeus. Now tell me which player will you be killing with it though? Yes, they're not clearing you close. USP a little better. And Fluxo with another racking up rounds.
The gap is closing. This was, this felt like a done deal for Eternal Fire. It felt like it was over. There was that position they were in where it's like, oh, if Fluxo don't win this round, it's all over. And they've won every single round since that point. Eternal Fire, are they losing their grasp over this game? Or is it just a delayed finish? They play through the long smoke. Antares opens up. Jota there lends a helping hand.
So blind.
Both players out of the long side fall for Fluxo. Running it fast into the bottom of mid. Madge has slowed them down with that smoke in the door. They play through it. At least gives them this timing to get out into middle, but Woxic's rotated down on the AWP. Will get smoked off. Because you've been losing, you don't have like nades left in spawn, as is often the case, to break this open, and so Woxic won't actually have any say in how this mid to B pans out. It's all coming down to these two B site defenders, Wycadia and Madja, and they're up to the task. They repel the B play. Nyx is in hot water, 2 kills, but so much more to do, and Woxic finally gets to get involved on that AWP. That's Eternal Fire breaking the streak that Fluxo were on, looking to get back to their winning ways.
Yeah, similar to the T side, and just Eternal Fire being so confident to just play through smokes and play aggressive. Jota and Antares comboing like this. Sure, a smoke spam, but then Jota goes right through. And, they don't win the round at long, but they certainly set themselves up for a hard round to lose. With a blind shot. Woxic on the cross as well.
I mean, you should know that AWP is going to be waiting for you somewhere over here at A. When it hasn't fought you early at Cat, which has been Woxic's kind of opening move in a lot of these rounds, you should be anticipating it, lying in wait later in the round. So that's why they've dropped all these smokes over. They want to do the full short side exec to put pressure on that Woxic AWP. Still, this doesn't have to end A. Even though there's a lot of resources going into this, you've got players in middle.
Oh, they want the jump. He's waiting for it. Yeah. Oh, Madra even takes it. They don't know Antares is still close.
They are going to start to change their mind though, right? Trying to get out mid. This is a mid to be split. Hoping that these cat drops can come through. And the backstab found onto Antares. Okay. One more back for history. But Wycadia holds the line. Woxic moves in on that AWP. Just don't give anything away. Don't give them the route to move into this A site. Right now, Wycadia's got B locked in, and Jota's on this big flank. It's all coming undone for Fluxo. As Art falls, Eternal Fire move on to match in series point, and they've got 4 chances to walk it over the line.
A good learning experience for Fluxo, I'm sure, coming to Europe, getting to play here, get a lot of prac in, play a top team, but this is absolutely the expected result. Eternal Fire setting themselves up for success, looking for a quick 2-0, and showcasing some strong individuals in this game. They've got the full B spawn, Fluxo. That might be temptation to go out with a bang.
Antares started B. 3 players have started B, and there's Woxic in middle for a fast rotate. Eternal Fire have read this. They've been read like a book, and that's how it comes undone. That's how it's over. A full stack of B churns through Fluxo as their time at the Blast Bounty draws to a close.
Yes, unfortunately, the Bounty Hunters not taking down the most wanted this time. Eternal Fire keep their heads, and of course, keep that 20k bounty on their heads as well, moving on towards the next stage of the tournament, Peter.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're gonna be super happy about this win. And as I mentioned, like they never really felt like they were in danger. Like it looked messy in the beginning, need to find their footing, but on Dust 2, everything seemed to work according to plan.
I mean, if you win in this fashion after going down 4-0, then I very much agree with you. A bit messy in the beginning, a couple of rounds that could have gone the way of EF. You know, they got off to a 4-0 start right here, which made me think that maybe we have a game on Dust 2. Maybe Fluxo is more about, you know, playing Dust 2 and maybe have a bit more to offer than we initially expected. But as you said, Peter, from that moment and onwards, once the score was 4-4, there was never any doubt who was going to win.
Yeah, 10 rounds in a row as we move over from the first half into the second for the side of Eternal Fire. How did you rate Jota's performance on this particular map? I think first map he was kind of quiet. Did it make sense how EF were using him in this ground?
I mean, he was a bit quiet again in the beginning of the game, but then he had a couple of rounds where he got to showcase a bit of that skill. I think he at a certain point was 1-6 on the scoreboard, and I thought to myself, I'm a little bit sorry for the kid. I would like to see him play well. I would like to see him get activated, but I think as the game progressed, we saw more of Jota, we saw more of EF, and at the end of the day, you know, we can always put the scope on a single player and be like, he could have done more or he could have had more impact, but EF won the game without ever being in doubt of winning, so you can argue he did his job. He was a contributing part to winning, and maybe next time they play, he will be the one stepping up instead of YKD or instead of Boxic or instead of Santaris. So a decent debut without raising too many eyebrows.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, this is his debut, you know. Yeah, he was in the shadows of the rest of the players, maybe a little bit alongside Boxic, but, you know, of course, Santaris is going to see some spotlight, but this time around, I talked about it was Santaris' playground, but this time it looked like it was Major's playground.
Yeah.
I love getting to see him pulling out some nice plays.
He has those games once in a while, or even tournaments once in a while, where he can play at an incredible high level. And I think I was once quoted for saying that, was that during the Copenhagen Major? Or I said Major is the least skilled player in the entire tournament. And I really had to rethink that, you know, a couple of times, because I do think he has certain games where he's coming alive, where he finds impact. And I will argue there's other players right now that are considered to be less skilled than Major. So also credit to him for maybe playing some more individual Counter-Strike, maybe realizing as well, Peter, you know that from having played with some of these guys who don't shoot a lot, that as an individual, you can always improve. You can always join the deathmatch. You can always see if you can up your level. And I think Major had a point in his career where, from an individual standpoint, he wasn't good enough. He's been working on that aspect, and you see the results right here. He's a stronger individual player than he's been for quite some time.
And he has plenty of fraggers in his team. You know, he's the in-game leader. Not to make the excuse that in-game leader doesn't have to fire back and do this heavy lifting, but, you know, it's also important to note that when an in-game leader has a good game, he maybe also feels like he can read the game better. He has a better understanding how his opponent is. You know, he gets that confidence out of the frags. But sometimes in-game leaders doesn't have to frag. Maybe they just put their players in a really good position. I think Major has both this. Like, so it doesn't always have to him to be going to this.
How has the identity changed of Eternal Fire, right? Has it changed drastically since, you know, minus Calyx plus Jota?
Way too early to say. I don't think so. I think the identity of EF will always be this explosive team that is relying a bit on Santaris, relying a bit on playing pacey Counter-Strike. Great example, the very last round we just saw right here, we almost missed the entire thing because it went so fast, and I think that's what you kind of expect from EF. It's always entertaining, always fast-paced, always interesting in a way as well. You're prone to make more mistakes, you're prone to lose more rounds than perhaps you're supposed to win. It will get scrappy from time to time, but as an identity, I don't think that'll change with a new player coming in.
Nah, I think that Eternal Fire still, in theory, they have a solid foundation. But I'm curious to hear, Jacob, you mentioned that you think Eternal Fire is going to be maybe not the greatest year. What is your thought, Rez, about this?
Yeah, I think so. You know, I think last year they played so much better than anyone would have expected. You know, going into the grand final, was it Pro League the last season? That was fantastic. You know, they even played up in that grand final and did a tremendous job. Santaris had a fantastic year. I just look at the landscape of Counter-Strike right now, and there's so many good teams, and I do feel EF is on the cusp of being one of those good teams. Personally, I don't think they're going to be able to replicate as strong as a year as they had last year. That doesn't mean that they can't play good Counter-Strike or can't get into playoff occasionally, but last year was extraordinary well playing for them.
As we take a look at the seeding, we can see that, unfortunately, Fluxo does mean single elimination. They are out of the Blast Bounty 2025. For Eternal Fire, I'm curious to get your opinion on this, Dupree. They were ranked 10th, obviously, coming into things, 20k bounty on their head. Do you think that makes sense? Would you look at them as being on the cusp of top 10 at the moment?
It's hard to say. I mean, I think there's a lot of things into it. I think, as Jacob mentioned, that last year for them was really good. So obviously they deserved the ranking. But I mean, Santaris also had a bonkers year. You know, that also helped them, you know, get these type of results. I think with them coming into the season with a new player, I think there's a chance they could be a top 10 team, but it's very early to say so. I think they have the capabilities of getting there. I think they have the talent. They have the firepower. I think there's a chance they could be it.
I think it's interesting, just looking at this leaderboard as well, knowing that some of these teams have changed places. You see Astralis right now, seed 15. I'd argue that if you're one of those opponents, you're not going to pick Astralis before you pick EF. You're not going to pick Astralis before you pick Big or Heroic for that matter as well. So these seeds are obviously based on the Valve ranking when they came into it, depending on who showed up for the tournament. But when we get into that next round tomorrow night, where teams have to pick their opponents, I think certain teams right now are seeded slightly higher than what they've shown so far in this tournament, and also what they look like on paper.
That's why I'm curious with Virtus Pro as well. Obviously, we saw them taking down rather Complexity earlier on today to earn that 14th place seed. So a lot of changes are going to be afoot as we move on into tomorrow. But before that, we still have 2 more best of 3s going down today. And man, have we got some treats coming your way. It's going to be Na'Vi versus Imperial Female to end out the day. But first, as Pimp just aptly mentioned, it's going to be a Liege in the FaZe jersey going up against M80. We're going to love you and leave you in the capable hands of James Banks and co for the next game.
One side should be.
Tempo.
Short.
Tempo and short. Side.
Short. Elbow.
Nice. One more short.
Short.
I'm nading short. Careful one. Guys, watch out on lurk. We need to...
CT and then short. Low Rocky as well. Low. 1 HP.
Mac and cheese mi o? Yeni Knorr çabuk makarnayla istediğin an çabuğuna çekil. 3 farklı seçeneğiyle kaynar su dök, karıştır. 5 dakikada hazır. Yeni Knorr çabuk makarna.
Let's walk.
Holding copy.
Hold copy. Keep holding.
Don't see.
Come closer.
I have short. I'm watching. I'm stuck.
Keep holding.
Nothing.
Copy. Nice.
Nice.
I'm coming short.
Guys, I'm only bike. No, I don't have it.